Playoff implications. Caleb Williams and the Bears head to Santa Clara to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Both the Bears and Niners are in the hunt for the 1 seed in the NFC, but it's very dependent on who's going to win this game. If the Bears win, their chances at the top seed go from 12% to 31%. If the 49ers win, their chances go from 32% to 51%. So the scenarios there, Chicago needs to win their next 2 games. They've got the 49ers, the Lions at home in Week 18. They need Seattle to lose one of their next 2. 49ers win out, they win the 1 seed. So, Jeff, who needs this win more?
I'm going Niners here. Listen, anytime that you have everything in front of you and you don't got to leave your place throughout the Super Bowl, not even to the Super Bowl, you stay at home all the way through, there's not a bigger advantage in football. I mean, you're talking about, you got the 2 home games, then you go through the playoffs. At the end of the season, you got the playoffs, then you got the Super Bowl literally at your home stadium. It doesn't get any better than this. And so everything is set up for them. Oh, by the way, you're going to play and beat 2 teams that you will have to see in the playoffs, being the Bears and the Seahawks potentially, and just showing a division opponent, anytime you play them, you want to beat them. They got away with one first game of the season, and they'll see them again in San Fran. These are moments that you, as a player, you couldn't dream of being able to literally stay at home through the Super Bowl. And this team, especially their defense, being at home is an advantage, right? Because they're very simple in their system. They don't do a whole lot. They can't rush the passer extremely well. They give it their own. So being at home, getting home field advantage, getting that crowd behind you, that helps you on defense as well.
It's the Bears for me. And it's because I think this team is needing to continue to prove that they belong. And they've had some really good wins. That win the other last week was phenomenal, right? You make that play against Green Bay late in the game. You prove to yourself that we don't play great for a large majority of the game, but we have enough to go get it done. Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams in their first year. This was supposed to be a team that maybe not this year, guys, but we know that this quarterback and this head coach comparison should pay its dividends based on what we believed about Ben Johnson coming from Detroit. There's a lot at stake for me with the Bears now and going forward, being in this particular situation. And make no mistake about it, we were just there Monday night with San Francisco, obviously in Indianapolis. San Francisco is still held in a high regard. Everybody knows that the injuries is the thing that has derailed this team from being one of the teams that we talk about being Super Bowl favorites, and they managed to find themselves in this position. The San Francisco 49ers have confidence about what they can do.
Absolutely.
Their head coach has been doing it for a long time. They've been to Super Bowls. Their quarterback is paid now, and he's played at a very high level coming off a 5-touchdown game. I think for Caleb and Ben and the Chicago Bears, and experiment is not the right word, but continuing to show that what we've done is believable with roster moves, with believing that taking this quarterback number 1 overall will have us competing like this for years to come. Going out and get who we thought was the best head coaching candidate coming out of Detroit. I think this game goes a long way, not just for this particular week, but also continuing to prove to themselves that we're going to be a formidable outfit for years to come, and it's going to become an attractive place for free agents based on the success that you have in this early.
Can I say this one thing, too? Just because when I was listening to Swag Good makes Ben Johnson, when you talk about the Packers, he was in Detroit, so he has familiarity with a lot of these teams. The big thing for the Bears, to me, is showing what you do out of your division.
Absolutely.
Like, can you compete with the big dogs that you don't see twice a year, right? Like, and there's something about that. Like, there's something about figuring out, because you build your teams to win your division. So you know how you match up in that world. Now we're going to the NFC West where they got 3 dudes as 3 teams, right? Can we go compete in that world? That's probably the most exciting part.
I like the point you brought up, though, because the San Francisco 49ers, their home stadium, Levi Stadium, that's hosting the Super Bowl. Ben Johnson said yesterday that he's not using that as any sort of extra motivation, like, hey, you guys could be back here in a couple of weeks. But, Joe, when you look at both of these 2 teams, 11-4 records. Right now, both in the postseason, they both got in because of that Lions loss in Week 16. Who needs this one more?
This is tough because you can go either way here. There are 2 great arguments to be made. I think it's the Niners because I think this is the last death gasp for them to have a shot at the Super Bowl. I think that's it. I think it already closed. I think when they blew it in overtime against the Chiefs, that was the end. But they found themselves in a position, thanks to a favorable schedule, and some great coaching from Kyle Shanahan and some play from the quarterback position to be back here. That defense is not going to go on the road in the NFC and get the stops they need for 3 consecutive wins and then go to the Super Bowl. They're going to need to get the 1 seed. They're going to need to rest. They're going to need to put a game plan together, and then they're going to need to win 2 and then host the Super Bowl. That's what it comes down to, because Christian McCaffrey's not getting any younger. Trent Williams isn't getting any younger. George Kittle isn't getting any younger. Fred Warner's going to be coming back from a brutal injury. Nick Bosa is coming back from a brutal injury. That body's starting to wear down. Purdy's contract is eventually going to kick in, and it's going to cost you a ton more against the salary cap, and your opportunity is going to be gone. I think they already missed it, but now that they have this last death gasp at it, this is where they have to take advantage. And that's not fair to say to the Bears, because like you can't sit here and say, well, the Bears are young, they're going to have plenty of chances. That's like the biggest mistake we make, because we just saw what happened to the Commanders.
But they are just getting started compared to where the 49ers have that pedigree. They've
and a loss here, the Lions are still down, the Packers are in trouble. You could still win your division, host a playoff game. You could still be okay if you're the Bears. It hurts if you're the Niners.
And I completely understand where you're coming from, Joe, but I liken this San Francisco situation to the Rams. I have a lot of confidence in this front office and this head coach. Right, the Rams were supposed to have their last death gasp. When all of those, when Aaron Donald retired and Jalen Ramsey was traded, they brought Von Miller in to try to solidify the pass rush and all of those things. They drafted well. They got a lot of production from some rookies. San Francisco was getting a lot of production from their draft pick before he got hurt this year. I got to see from the Bears if they can handle success. Right? Cincinnati is one of those teams where you talk about, did they really handle success as well as they could? Because it plays a lot into your future. I think San Francisco going to be fine because of John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. I think they're going to draft well. They're going to coach it well. I want to see if this is for the Chicago Bears is something sustainable. And I think this win helps continue to solidify that. But to your point, man, I understand the last death gas because you don't know if it's going to turn out that way.
Either team's going to make a run. They need the 1 seed. Neither one of these teams is going to be able to go on the road.
The problem, and we always get into this, is, and I tell this all the time, and I'm an offensive guy, obviously, but defense wins championships. And the problem is, if it's all on the line, you don't have a ton of faith in any defense that they're going to get off the field. Chicago depends on a turnover, or something crazy. Neither one you go, hey, we're fired up. Our defense is going to hold you to 3. Either their defense has got to get hot or they got to get turnovers to carry them.
So you think it's going to be a shootout this weekend?
I do. I think this is going to be – I think this game marks up for both offenses match up well, and both defenses are going to have to figure something out. I will say, and I haven't picked the games yet, if I'm the 49ers, I'm more scared of this week than I am the Seahawks. This Ben Johnson run game is real, and you can't rush the passers if you're 49ers, so you already know that ain't going to work out. You're going to have to play coverage, so you're playing coverage against a team who will run that thing down your throat.
I'm waiting on information on George Kittle. That's going to determine how I feel about this guy.
Ben Johnson's last 2 trips to Santa Clara when he was at the Lions torched them. Lost the 1 game in the NFC Championships. They still hung 30. They hung 40 in the other one.
Pass.
And this, there you go. Exactly.
I'm proud of you guys. You did a much better job.